folks, the biggest question when I'm fitting people is not so much about the clubs. They always say, yeah, but I always hit the ball left, or I always hit the ball right, and how do I sort that out? So the thing about that is, a lot of the time it's not about the clubs. Most of the time it's about the person themselves. So a lot of people don't really understand it, is club face and club path. So their path is important, and where the club face is also very important when you're hitting a golf ball. So what I want to try and do is explain that to people. I just put up a shot up on the screen. What I'm really interested in is club face to path and club path. So you've got your target line, okay? So the target is, say, the flag. So for me, when we're here, we're pointing at this black dot here, okay? So that's where, if I hit it on that black dot, the ball is gonna go straight. It's on the straight. So then what you want to do is, what has a big effect is, when I get the club to the ball, is the club face open? Is the club face open? Or is the club face closed? So that will also have a huge impact on what I do. Also, when I'm swinging the ball, am I coming from inside, like this, or am I coming from outside? Most people come from outside. And over the last 2 months, I'm really interested in this because I see it every day. And the biggest reason that people come from the outside, and when from the outside, is this. If you look, so this is where I'm going. So this is the straight line. When I'm lining up to hit the ball, I line the ball to go one way and I line to go parallel with it. But for a huge amount of people, what happens is their shoulders are actually like this. Their shoulders are open. So if my shoulders are open, like so, it's very hard for me to come inside like this. So if my shoulders are open, if my shoulders are like this, so if my body is here, an awful lot of people, their shoulders are like this. So then how can I get inside, or how can I get straight? What's gonna happen is, I'm gonna come down the line with the ball. So I'm gonna throw the club on the outside. If my shoulders are straighter, okay, so if my shoulders are straight to the target, okay, parallel to the target, slightly to the left of the target, well then I've a better chance to bring the club on a better path. So that's one huge thing, okay? What people don't understand is that they stand up to the ball, their shoulders are open, and then they wonder why they can't. But what I've seen over the years is the club path is one thing, but the face path is huge. So an awful lot of people, when they come into the ball, they're either doing this, where they come to the ball, and I'll just show you here, they come in like this, or they come in like this, okay? And it doesn't matter how straight your club path is, if the face of the club isn't kind of within, you've got 0, and if you're plus or minus 3, you've a very good chance of getting it in there. Do you know what I mean? But if it goes crazy, I'm gonna hit a couple of balls. So I'm gonna try and get this club path good. Now, that club face was closed. So look at this. So my club path was inside, sorry, by 1.6 degrees. But my face was closed by 5.3 degrees. So then, when my club face was closed, all of a sudden then it's 15 meters left of target. So now I suppose the proof of this is to show you what happens when you hit a ball. So we're gonna try and work on one. Right, okay? Let's see how we do. So look at this now. So this is cool. So now my club path was pretty straight. It was outside by 0.2 of a degree, which is perfect. And my face to path was open. So the club face is a little bit open. And now all of a sudden, I'm 7 meters left of the target. So half, okay? So now here we go. So this shows you, this is pretty cool now. I'm very impressed with myself for this one. So here we go. So my club path was inside by 0.6. My face to path was 0.1, which is pretty much straight. And now this was 1.7 meters right of the target. So once you start to get, the closer you get to zero, kind of for most people, the better it is. Now I'm going to show you something else as well, but this is very important. Everybody is different. People's physicality or physiology, I don't know what the word is, right, is different. So some people have got, like I have a problem with my hands. This hand turns like this. This hand only goes here. I had a motorbike accident years ago, right? So it means that I have to adjust for that. So I have to be a little bit more open so I feel like I'm coming across the ball a bit more. And then I hit the ball straighter, because my go-to shot used to be, was very much like this. And watch this one. Right, the club path was great. My club path was 1.2, but my face to path was minus 4 degrees, which meant that I pull hooked the shite out of everything. And I just have to aim over here to try and get the ball down the middle. So over the last couple of years, that's gotten better. For me, the thing that I get from most people is, the two biggest problems is, a lot of the time they're open. That's the biggest problem with people. Their shoulders, they think their feet are straight, but their shoulders are open, right? What's more important is to try and get into a situation where your feet are straight and your shoulders are kind of straight. And listen, if there's a little bit of anything, that won't kill you. Maybe you need it, right? Because now we're gonna do something else. It's more like this. This is the perfect one of what happens to a lot of people. Their club path is outside, okay? So the ball is here. The club path is outside, so their shoulders are open. They're coming outside the ball, and of course they come into the ball and they know that they can't hit it straight. So what do? They open the club face and they come into the ball, and the club face is wide open, like that one. So you've a club path that's 4.5 degrees outside, and you have a face to path where when the club hits the ball, it's 8 degrees open, which is too much. It took me about 15 minutes to hit a decent shot. So here I want to show you. So now you get into the whole thing of, now if I'm hitting fades or I'm hitting draws and stuff like that, we're going to try and show you how. I'm not going to show you how to do it because I'm not good enough. But this shows you what happens. So on this shot was lovely because my club path was 2.8 degrees outside. And so I was coming out, okay? I was coming out. And when I hit the ball, the face to path was slightly open. So basically what happened was, it went down the left and came in. So it was a little bit of a fade, because what happens here sometimes is that, you see here, you've got your club path was minus 2.8, your face to path was 1.8, and if you take one from the other, it was a kind of a differential of 1 degree, which meant that they kind of cancelled each other out. If you can get yourself to cancel things out, that's how you start to work the ball. So now I'm going to try and do it the other way. Now here's the horrible thing about this, is that I spent years trying to get rid of this. But I suppose what people want to do is trying to keep the ball as straight as they can. But listen, nobody hits the ball straight. So people who hit draws want to hit fades. People who hit fades want to hit draws. People who hit the ball high want to hit the ball low. People who hit the ball low want to hit the ball high. It's a game of opposites, but it's just kind of understand the figures. If you gotta kind of realize what's happening with how you swing the club, the path of the club, and what's happening to the club when it hits the ball. The object of this exercise is, if you're having a lesson, try and get yourself on a Trackman or a Mevo or something, because, or this new Garmin, or I don't know what it's called, or 9 or 10 or 11 or whatever it is. They have a little machine that can give you a lot of these figures, because people get hooked up on distance a lot of the time. But if you can try and strike the ball a bit better, it can make a huge difference to you. It's simple things. People don't line up properly. It's what I always try and do, even on a shot that's 200 meters. I'm taking my target and I'm trying to pick a spot here, about 6 inches in front of the ball. Because if I line up, it's an awful lot easier for me to square the club up with that than square the club up with something that's 200 meters away or 200 yards away. That could be nice. Yes. Oh my God. So, I just wanted to hit one that was kind of straight again. So, it's nice to finish off on something that's kind of half decent anyway. As I said, this was just about club path, face to path. For me, for a lot of people, it's for an awful lot of people, it's about where your shoulders are. Oh, some people where their feet are, because probably on this, and this is another thing I see, people try to compensate. Their face to path is very open, so then they start to compensate by holding the club closed and holding the club open. Listen, get yourself on a Trackman, get yourself on a flight scope, get yourself on something and go to a pro and try and get them to explain to you what you need to do, okay? It is quite simple, it's quite logical. If I can understand it, anybody can understand it, because I'm a donkey. Do you know what I mean? So the thing about it is that it's not rocket science. It's about angles, it's about straight, it's about moving slightly left, moving slightly right. But do you see this thing? For me, looking at most people, this is where everything happens. Do you know what I mean? An awful lot of people are pretty straight. Do you know what I mean? But it's their face that is the problem. And you know what, folks? An awful lot of the time, that's about somebody's grip. They've got grips like this and grips, mainly grips like this, where what happens is, and this is the big thing, and I'm just gonna say this is just a simple add-on. If you've got a really strong grip, and you see a lot of people with their hands on the club like this, and they're trying to get to the ball, and they're coming out, and they can't because their hands can't release, and what happens is they throw the club open, and they get this big slice. Let me know what you think as well. This is something that a lot of people have asked about, and I tried to kind of explain to them. It's easy to do it one-on-one, but if you have questions about this, let us know. I want to try and help people with this, because it is very, very important. Okay, folks, take care.